These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.
I'm Craig McKee with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. ABC15 following up here still following this weekend's deadly wrong-way crash on the US 60 near Gold Canyon. See the scene there. Well, tonight, the family of the youngest victim speaking to ABC15. 20-year-old Noel Parker was a passenger in that car with 24-year-olds Carrie Lee and Nadia Biascochea when they were hit by an 80-year-old man driving the wrong way. Noel's family tells us she was a bright young woman who loved cooking and was a chef at the Gold Canyon Golf Resort.
Noelle was literally the life of every party. She was the most caring, most genuine person ever. She had a lot of friends. She loved making people happy.
She influenced everybody for the good. Everybody loved her. She brought out the best in everybody. So it's just an incomparable, sweet, wonderful human being.
All 4 people in the crash died. The investigation is still ongoing. The man accused in a high-profile Valley murder case is back in court. Ian Mitchum is accused of murdering Allison Feldman inside her Scottsdale home. Familial DNA was used for the very first time in Arizona, pointing police to Mitchum back in 2018, according to police. Now, after years of legal battles over key evidence, the case is set to go to trial starting next week.
One of the things that I promised Allison was I'd keep her legacy alive, and that's how I feel what I'm doing. So to me, it's something has to get done, as frustrating as it is.
Our team has been poring over those court filings, by the way, and we have learned the defense is planning to point the finger at another man that they claim made incriminating statements. Scottsdale police, however, and prosecutors telling us there is no evidence linking this man to Allison's murder. Jury selection is set to start on Monday. Our team here at ABC15 learning about a deadly fight in Old Town Scottsdale. 5 people have now been arrested after TJ Pizzatola was killed back on October 11th when a group fight broke out near Scottsdale and Indian School Roads just outside Patty's Bar. Police say when they arrived, the suspects ran off from the scene. 4 men, though, and a woman were taken into custody. They were in their 20s. ABC15 working to get an update for you after reports of an AC outage at Sky Harbor's Terminal 4. Our photojournalist Carlos Ogoza was at the airport this morning, as you can see here, where he saw temporary fans set up to help cool the place down. The airport tells us no flight operations were impacted due to the outage. We were there in July when a similar situation happened, obviously when temps were much higher and the security lines got longer. We'll be monitoring this for any new developments. Today, the city of Tempe opened a disaster assistance center at Community Christian Church. That's just off Broadway and College Avenue. More than 100 people were displaced because of that massive storm, and cleanup is still ongoing. The center will be open from noon until 7 p.m. today through Saturday. Now, this is where you can get all of your questions answered if you've been impacted by this storm. You can find support through crisis counseling or even food assistance.
We realize that the cost for debris removal is quite high. There's varying estimates, so making sure we're using vetted landscapers, not people that are trying to price gouge and take advantage of anybody. So we want to make sure that we have a good resource to help people navigate those systems.
Rachel Louise Just is at the center today and brings us an update from the community today on ABC 15 News at 4, 5, and 6. Time is running out to enjoy this year's Arizona State Fair. That means this week is your last chance to take advantage of Feel Good Friday. Anyone can get free entry to the fair from noon until 6 o'clock. All you have to do is bring in 7 non-perishable food items. Your donations will benefit St. Mary's Food Bank directly and Operation Santa Claus. A big thank you to our sponsor, Sanderson Ford.
Tracking your forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Amber Sellens. Our latest storm system is clearing out of here. Cooler air left behind and valley temperatures dropping into the mid-80s as we wrap up the week. High pressure will build in again, though, so we've got a warm up over the weekend and a warm up next week, too. For tomorrow, we start the day at 62 degrees. We'll hit 69 at 9 a.m., 79 at noon, and 85 around 4 p.m. here in Phoenix. So just a little bit below that normal of 87 for this time of the year. Looking for a high of 89 out at Quartzsite, 90 for Lake Havasu City and Yuma, low to mid 70s in Prescott, Sedona, and Payson, and low 60s up along the Mogollon Rim for tomorrow. Here's the next 7 days for you. Temperatures climbing into the upper 80s over the weekend, and we could hit the 90s again Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. On average, our last 90-degree day tends to happen right around October 30th, so pretty much right on cue. Temperatures, though, do look to drop a little bit heading toward Halloween.